Hello, I'm Garrett Godfrey, and welcome to the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast, where I'm working to connect artists with fans and fans with artists so that you can find and fund the music you love. This is episode 36, recorded Thursday, October 30th, 2015. We are going to be looking at some current campaigns by Jessi Trigger, Bryan Duncan, Choi, The Grey Havens, Fever, Decyfer Down, and The Great Romance. I hope you enjoy the show and find something you can connect with and fund. So, before we get into the campaigns, I just want to remind you that we've got the timestamps for all the campaigns in the show notes, and the links for all the campaigns will also be in the show notes. If you back any of the campaigns, or if you just want to help them spread the word, be sure to tweet about them, post about them on Facebook, mention them to your friends in real life, and, spread the word. Let folks know about these campaigns. Maybe mention this show too if you think you know folks that might be into it. If you want to send me feedback, email me, feedback@crowdfundingchristianmusic.com, or you can use Twitter. I'm @TheOtherCCM. So, on to the campaigns. First up tonight is Jessi Trigger out of Orlando, Florida, with a Kickstarter campaign for an album to be titled Inner Workings. Let's hear a little bit more about her campaign.
When I was a kid, I was one of those kids who just felt things really deeply, and I needed a safe place that I could really process through life. So I would write poems and lyrics and songs and journals, and I did this all the way through college till I was about 22, and when I was about 22 I stopped writing completely. And I think that happened for a number of reasons, but I think one of the main reasons that happened was because I shared something that I had written with someone that I cared about, and in the process of sharing that with them, they just made this offhand comment about how there was nothing they hated worse than angsty teenagers who are just so emotional. The way that I internalized that at the time was that my heart was pretty foolish, and that it was actually something that is shameful or worthy of being scoffed at or laughed at, and so I just stopped writing. You are my soul. And fast forward about 5 years, I'm leading worship at this women's retreat, and I decided to share a song that I had written back in college. And I shared the song, and afterwards one of the ladies came up to me and she asked me, "Have you ever recorded your music?" And I said, "No, I haven't really recorded anything. I haven't even written anything in quite a while." And I'll never forget this. She looked me straight in the eye and she said, "Jessi, I want you to think and pray about why." And I said, "Okay." And I went home and I thought about it and I prayed about it. And I realized that the reason I had stopped writing, the reason I had stopped connecting to my own heart in quite the same way, was because I was afraid. I was afraid that people would see me as that stupid, angsty teenager. And so I just stopped. I just didn't write. And at the same time, I realized that I don't want to live my life out of fear. I don't want fear to be the motivator of who I am. So I made a decision. I decided that I would start writing again. And I got up early every day and I would just write. I would write songs and poems and whatever kind of came out of my pen. And I just wrote and wrote and wrote, and it was this glorious reconnecting with my own heart and this unearthing of part of me that had gotten buried along the way. And I did this, I wrote for like a year and a half, and I looked up after that time had passed and realized that I had written 26 complete songs that I was proud of.
Her campaign goal was $10,000, and she's almost 50% past that goal. Now, if you're listening to this after November 3rd, I'm sorry. The campaign closed Tuesday night. But if you're listening to this before the 3rd, you still have time. For $1,250, she can record an additional song. So right now she's poised at a 10-song album, and with your help, it gets even bigger. For $10, you get a digital download of the album. For $15, you get digital lyrics and bonus artwork added. For $25, you get a physical CD. For $35, that CD is autographed. And then there are more reward levels, including artwork, necklaces, shirts, and more. Be sure to check out the links in the show notes. Next up is Bryan Duncan with an Indiegogo campaign for promotion for his new live album. Now, the album is already recorded and mixed. This is just to help him service radio and do publicity and promotion for it. And if you don't know Bryan Duncan's music, he's got a great blues and soul sound. So let's take a little bit of a listen from his page. Here you go.
Making me love you. That much is clear. Oh, thinking of how you love me. Just thinking of you, yeah. Keeps you right here, yeah. Every time you smile, my world is shaking. Falling down on my knees again and savoring, just whispering your name. Oh, it changes everything around me. Everyone can see love in the making. Don't know what I can say about it. All I can do is to blame it on you, Lord. You make me love you.
Now, for this album, they had a 7-piece band and 8 background vocalists. Check out the campaign page for the full list of all the songs on each of the different albums and the perks. His goal was only $500, and that admittedly was mostly to keep the Indiegogo fees low. But he's already up to $1,500, and he's still got another 10 days left to go. This campaign closes November 9th. Now, for $15, you get the audio download of the new live album. For $20, plus shipping, you get the new live CD and download, and then he's got all these other perk levels, including downloads of his earlier works, his latest studio album, the latest Sweet Comfort Band CD, and many more. So be sure to check out the links in the show notes. Next up is Karen Choi. Now, she's a singer, songwriter, and musician from Lincoln, Nebraska, with a Kickstarter campaign for her second album. Let's hear a little bit more about that.
When I think about my favorite aspects of being a songwriter and musician, one of the first things that comes to mind is the people I get to cross paths with. One of the most meaningful experiences I have is when somebody stops me after a show to talk about how a specific song moved them in a specific way. Music has the power to move each of us in unique and powerful ways, and I consider it a privilege to be one of those who feels the deep burning to be a songwriter. With that internal need to put melody to lyrics comes the daunting task of recording that material, to capture a cross-section of my music, which is in fact a cross-section of my life. Not only does it take a lot of time investment, it takes a lot of financial investment. But it is also something I love to do, and it's all worth it. So I come to you who, like me, is a lover of music. I come to you to partner with me in this cross-section of music in my life, to invest in it, to pre-order the album before it is even finished. I recorded my first album in Nashville in 2012, and this part of my journey has brought me to the Arts District of Northeast Minneapolis to work with Matt Patrick at the Library Recording Studio. He has a long list of singer-songwriters he has produced, and I am in capable hands as we have already dug deep into these songs and pulled the very best out of them during our pre-production meetings. We will begin tracking the album in mid-November. My Kickstarter goal for this project is $10,000. There are many different rewards for each backing level, starting with a $10 digital download. There are some other great things to check out as well, including beautiful hand-lettered lyric prints by Lovewell Hand Lettering, and tote bags by Screen Ink, as well as opportunities for me to put on a personal concert in your own home. This budget of $10,000 covers the costs of recording, but to receive above and beyond that goal would delight me to no end, as those extra costs of manufacturing physical albums, traveling expenses, photography, design work, it all adds up. At the moment I am focusing on finishing the record, but if we exceed that goal, it would be an enormous aid in my releasing it as soon as possible. Again, I count it a privilege to tell stories through song and to perform and record those songs. I am grateful that I have people like you who help make that possible.
Now I'm excited to take you over to her SoundCloud page to play a couple samples of her Paper Birch album. She's got a great folk Americana country vibe, so I'm going to play a little bit of the track Hymn of the Sycamore, and here's that.
I'm a fool for the sky, for what bends my eye, for what bends my knee. You give me something to hold while these days are cold, while these days are mean. Come to me, a whisper soft, hosannas by the sycamore tree. Will you not save me, gather me up under your sheltering wing?
Okay, so this next track is the first track from the album. It's called Will You Be, and I just gotta say, it reminds me so much of Karen from Over the Rhine. So here's Will You Be.
Will you quench my thirst? Will you feed my mind? Will you wait up when I lag behind? Will you stay in step? Will you get my jokes? Will you know the things that I like the most? Will you be my love? Will you be my love?
Now her campaign goal is $10,000, and she's 33% there with another 2.5 weeks still to go. This campaign closes November 19th. Now for $10, you get an early download of the album. For $20, you get the CD and the early download. For $30, that CD is signed. And then there are more reward levels available, including hand-lettered lyric prints, a signed copy of her first album, tote bags, and more. Scroll down on the page to see some of the lyric prints and the artwork. There's some cool stuff in there. So check out the links in the show notes. Next up are the Grey Havens. They are a husband-wife pop folk duo out of the Chicago area, and they've got a Kickstarter campaign going right now for their third project, a 6-song EP. Now, I was first exposed to the Grey Havens by the Under the Radar show, so thank you, Dave Trout. let's hear a little bit more about their campaign right now.
Hey everyone, my name is Dave. This is Alicia. We are a husband-wife pop folk duo called the Grey Havens from the Chicago area. We've been performing together for about 3 years just after getting married. We've made 2 records, and we are currently in studio in Nashville in the beginning process or stages of making the 3rd record. So that's where this project, this Kickstarter, comes in. The plan is to record a 6-song EP to be released in the spring of 2016.
When we first were beginning as a duo, we drew heavily from a bank of songs that Dave had written when he was in college, and we really love the songs. We love performing them still. And actually our second project was about half made up of songs from that group as well. But the exciting thing about these new songs is there's just a fresh excitement because we haven't performed them a whole lot yet. We really have the chance to try some new things, experiment, and really kind of record in the moment and enjoy the process. We're also really excited about this project because of who we get to work with on it.
We'll be working with Ben Shive, producer here in Nashville, incredibly talented producer who's worked with some of our favorite artists, including Andrew Peterson, and most recently a band called Colony House. They just put out a record, which is what really sealed the deal for us wanting to work with Ben in the first place.
One thing that we really love about Kickstarter is that you not only get to help us raise the production costs of the album, but you get a lot of really cool rewards in exchange. We are going to have an exclusive print of the EP signed and numbered digipack. We are going to have exclusive t-shirts. There are also going to be illustrations and handwritten lyrics by myself, and an illustrated song map by Aiden Peterson. That's going to be really cool.
One reward tier that we're really excited about for this project is, I think it's called the Backer Exclusive tier. And what that is basically instant access into a live video that we just shot in studio of one of the songs in the record called Shadows of the Dawn. So it's a single of that song with myself, Alicia, and another player doing a live take of that song. It's kind of a sneak peek, first glimpse into what the sound and shape of the record will be like, and we really hope you like it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. We hope you partner with us as we go out and start making this new record.
So I want to take you guys over. Well, you're going to...
It's veiled and stands behind the shroud. The final day when trumpets sound. Sometimes I glimpse into the fog and listen for the song.
I want to take you over to their website to play part of one of their songs. It's called Stole My Fame, and it'll give you a flavor for some of their style.
You threw me down, you stole my fame. You would not stop until you crucified my name. You took my boast, put it in the ground, buried it in water. Now the water's showing how I got this spotless reputation, not my own. Give me joy and fire, keep it burning in my soul. But every triumph I count as mine, it turns to stone, and stone don't often catch a fire. So spend some time with me, grace, spend some time with me. Come on and take these stone shackles and set me free. Just give me what fire will need to burn. Show me that true love and I'll return. But till then I'll forget you and say you threw me down.
This is so much fun stuff. And over at the Under the Radar website, they've got a great exclusive video of them doing a song at a live event called Escape to the Lake, so I'll include that link in the show notes as well. Now, for this campaign, their campaign goal was $18,500. They're halfway there, and they still have 3 more weeks to go. This campaign closes November 20th. For $10, you get the digital download 2 weeks before it releases. For $25, you get that limited edition signed and numbered digipack of the CD, plus that early download and a sneak peek at the music video. For $50, you get a t-shirt, a print, the signed CD, digital download, and then they have all these other reward levels, including the map, private online shows, names in the liner notes, handwritten lyric sheets, and more. be sure to check out the links in the show notes. Next up are Fever Fever, a great rock acoustic folk band out of Columbus, Ohio, with a Kickstarter campaign for a new album. Let's hear more about it.
I'm Thomas from Rome, Italy.
I am Rodrigo Tsai. I'm from the Azores Islands.
I'm Emily Steele from Central Coast, California.
I'm Surya from India.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm from Seattle.
Hi, it's Holly from Sydney.
Norman here.
I'm Becca in Dallas, Texas.
I'm Elena, and I'm a huge fan of the band Fever Fever.
I love Fever's music.
And I'm the first Fever fan from Italy.
I have Fever Fever.
Every time people ask me to introduce them to new music, I always show them Fever Fever.
I love Fever Fever so much. They're one of my favorite bands. I still remember the first time I heard you guys.
They're unlike any other band of our time.
And on top of that, they're just really good guys.
I love Fever Fever. I'm very excited about their new project.
All their songs are really unique and inspiring, and I just love their music.
We've been playing music for about 10 years, and we're in the middle of recording an acoustic EP right now with some new songs.
And we really just enjoy the acoustic instrumentation and arrangements of everything, so we thought it'd be really cool to take some new songs and then some songs from the Aftermath record and rework them with our acoustic instruments.
I'm not super thrilled that they're continuing the series with the Toy Story 4. But, I mean, you know, Pixar is great, so maybe they'll make it work. They said themselves they wouldn't do it just for the sake of doing it.
We have had a lot of cool things happen in the last year. We released a record, our first full-length studio record with a label, Slow Speak Records, last year. It was a really big step for us, and we've seen a lot of cool things happen from it.
With this next project, the acoustic EP, we're hoping that even more opportunities will come from that.
Just give me the banjo.
You lost your banjo privileges.
And so we've been tracking these new songs and orchestrating them in new ways, because it's really fun and creative for us to do, to think of them just in a new light.
Experiment a lot with sounds on the new record. We decided to do a Kickstarter and try to get some of our fans that we've gained over the last few years and that really support us and just try to ask for help. Why do we need money?
We need money because we ain't got no money.
We're trying to be as frugal as possible about this, so we are doing all the recording ourselves and really going to great lengths to make sure we can keep the costs down as much as possible. But there are some things that we need financial support for to get the record out there and in your guys' hands.
And it's basically a pre-order on the record. There's some other cool levels that you can get to if you give a certain amount.
Pressing CDs, doing some artwork, and some merch and things like that.
It always surprises us that people are willing to kind of get behind what we're doing, but it's pretty awesome as an artist to be able to have people who are backing us. Thanks so much for watching this video, and take a look at those levels and see how you can support our next project.
Guys, you're awesome.
I'm really excited to see what y'all do and hope you come to Dallas soon.
It gives me peace and joy. I love that. Woo-hoo.
You guys are just so awesome. I love your sound, your authenticity. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I can wait to listen to their new album.
I cannot wait, and I thank you, Fever Fever.
Sending love to everyone, especially to everyone who loves Fever.
Ciao.
Adeus.
I think we got it.
So for those of you who aren't too familiar with the music they play, let me play the title track from the last album, Aftermath, and here you go.
I built a road of darkness with my two bare hands to get a little bit closer. I built a ship in the sky with my eyes on the sand to feel a little bit higher. But in the aftermath of your reckless love, I feel more alive than I ever was. But for my ruins fell
Now their campaign goal is $5,000, and they're over 20% of the way there. And they still have 3 more weeks to go. This campaign closes November 21st. Now for $10, you get digital copies of the project's Native Color 1 and 2. For $25, you also get a signed copy of the album Aftermath. For $50, you get the entire Fever digital discography, which is pretty extensive, and more. Be sure to check out the link in the show notes. Next up are Decyfer Down, a hard music band out of North Carolina, with an Indiegogo campaign for a new album. Now thanks go out to Jesus Freak Hideout, Jesus Wired, New Release Today, and the Rock in a Hard Place podcast for all spreading the word about this campaign. Now initially the band was planning on an EP, but they've changed it to be a full-length album. So let's hear a little bit more about this campaign.
Hey guys, this is Brandon, and I'm TJ, and we're with the band Decyfer Down. If any of you have been to a show lately, or you follow us on Facebook, you see that we're talking about recording new music in 2015. We're super excited for the opportunity to record our first independent EP, and to keep recording music and playing it live for you guys.
Don't think of people closer, it's you myself, be gone forever, I want nothing more to be.
So you guys are probably wondering what this record's going to be like. So it's going to be heavy, melodic, we're picking up the 7 strings, we're going back to our roots, we're excited about making music and sharing it with you guys, about our life struggles, our experiences, and just being ordinary people in need of a savior. We're pumped about the record. We still believe that there's a lot to be said and that God still has a plan for Decyfer Down and the music that He's given us, and we just want to share that with you guys. We want you to be a part of the whole process.
One of the ways you can do that is to support our Indiegogo campaign. You know, we've thought about it really hard, and we've put together some perk packages that we think you guys will really dig. It includes signed CDs, signed vinyls, band merch, even band gear that's been on tour and on stage for years. We've heard you guys talk about wanting an acoustic record for a long time, so we put together an acoustic EP exclusively for campaign backers.
So we just wanted to say thanks to you guys. Thanks for the support over all the years, for buying our records, for coming to shows, for being a part of the Decyfer Down family. We love you. We're so thankful for you. Can't wait to see you.
Now their campaign goal is $30,000, and they're almost halfway there. They've got more than 3 weeks left. So this closes November 25th. For $10, you get an early digital copy of the album, plus an acoustic single. For $15, you get a signed CD a week early, and that early download. For $75 plus shipping, you get limited edition record of the new project on vinyl. Plus, there are more perk levels available, including drumheads, acoustic EPs, handwritten lyrics, and more. So be sure to check out the link in the show notes. Next up are The Great Romance, a worship rock band out of St. Louis, Missouri, with a Kickstarter campaign for a new EP. So let's hear a little bit more about that.
It's your small voice says.
Hey guys, it's Matt Vollmer with The Great Romance here. We've been traveling all over this year, playing camps, concerts, churches, you name it. We've even been touring with Cutlass, Rush of Fools, Mark Schultz, and a ton of other awesome artists. We're tired, we've been busy, but what we're hearing from you is you want more music. So this is where you come in. We have to record, we have to have time to write, we have to have money to press the CD, we have to have money for distribution. We need your help to make this happen so we can get the music out to you
and to everyone else. So, like a normal Kickstarter, we'll have normal rewards like autographs, the actual CD, concerts, all those normal things. But we want to give you some other things because you're great people. So we'll have some strange things, some odd things, such as
a dance party with Judo Jed. And you can get
some one-on-one guitar time with the two of us. You really don't like to talk on camera, do you? So, scroll down to the bottom of the page, check out everything that we are offering, check out the cool rewards, things you can get, what you can bid on. Pray about it, please, and consider supporting our Kickstarter to help us get out some new, good music to you. Thanks, guys.
So they have a campaign goal of $5,000, and they're just getting started. So they're $155 right now, but they've got 3.5 weeks to go. For $10, you get an autographed copy of the EP. For $20, you get a headband added to that. For $30, you get the headband and the drumsticks along with the EP. And if you bump it up to $50, they throw in a t-shirt. They have a whole bunch of other rewards available as well, including hoodies, handwritten lyrics, original art, even a guitar, and lessons, and more. So check out the link in the show notes. I'm also going to include a link to their the website where you can hear more of their music. And just to tease you with a sneak peek of the future, coming up in the next few episodes, we're going to be covering campaigns by DJ Madge, Fine China, Grave Robber, Jerry Chamberlain, and the Choir, plus a lot more. And if you like the theme song at the beginning of the show, it's Hypostatic Union by the group The X Structure out of South Africa. It's on their album The Future, and all their music right now is Name Your Price over at Bandcamp, so be sure and check them out. And that's it for this week. Those are all the campaigns. Definitely head over to the crowdfundingchristianmusic.com website. That's where you'll find those show notes I keep talking about. You can use the submission form at the top, or you can use email to message me, feedback@crowdfundingchristianmusic.com, or just use Twitter @TheOtherCCM. Let me know about anything for the show, for the website, for a campaign I ought to cover that I haven't covered yet. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you later. Have a good week. Bye.